The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hey there, sports fans. Well, hello, and welcome to Friday Night Live. And we have got some incredible action going on right now. Just to update, Republic and Knicks are in overtime. They went into overtime tied at 38. Tied at 28 going into overtime. Knicks scores on the first play. Ramon Green runs it in from 25 yards out. They kick the extra point to go up 35-28. Republic comes back. They score their touchdown and now appear to be going for two. They lined up to go for two, and Nixa called a timeout. They lined up again to go for two, and now Republic has called a timeout. So 35-34, timeout Republic. Elsewhere, 7-0 Camdenton, 7-0 Lebanon. With just a couple minutes remaining in quarter number 4, Camdenton on top of Lebanon, 38-28, a timeout in that game. Here it is, Republic. They have lined up once again. They're going for the win. Quarterback under center, single back in the backfield. Wingman goes in motion. Quarterback keeps it, rolls out, throws it to the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown. Republic beats Nixa. The 2-point conversion is good, and Republic has defeated Nixa in overtime, 36-35, and Republic has stormed the field at Eagle Stadium. So what a win by the Republic Tigers. 36-35. That is the final. And it appears it is going to run down to being a final score here as well. Lebanon has the football in the red zone inside the 10 with under 2 minutes to play, up by 10. Quarterback keeper here, Bear Shore. Gets tackled at the 5, and flags come out. A little extracurricular activity there. But what a game. Republic, 36, Nixa, 35. Nixa suffers their first loss of the year as they go to 7-1. Republic improves to 4-3. We talked about it earlier this week that Republic has been playing well, and they come out and they get a huge victory. Well, you're listening to the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Guy Newcomb, the scoreboard guy, alongside for the next hour and a half. All the scores we put up at scoreboardguy.net. We're looking forward to hearing from some coaches around the area. And we will take a quick time out here. There we go. I think we've got the mic situation, hopefully got it figured out. We'll take a quick time out. We'll back and we'll run through the scores that we do have at this time.
Welcome to the Cottages at Fairhaven Cove. This resort spans 12 acres on a quiet cove on Table Rock Lake. You will feel right at home in one of the newly renovated cottages. Options include studio, 1-bedroom, and 2-bedroom units. These units have been beautifully redone from floor to ceiling and offer both comfort and style. Each cottage has a fully functional kitchen, deck, or balcony with incredible lake view and outdoor entertainment area complete with a grill. Whether a couple or family, the perfect space awaits you. RV parking at Fairhaven Cove is now available to all guests as well. This is an ideal spot for a weekend getaway or family reunions. 4 full hookup RV parking sites are offered. Each site is complete with a picnic table, grill, Wi-Fi, and digital TV upon request. All guests have access to the numerous amenities that Fairhaven Cove offers. 2 boat docks are available for use. You can take a dip in the lake, fish, or house your boat. Cape Fear, Missouri is not only a great location for boating and water sports, but is also known as the bass capital of the world. The calm waters of the Cove is the perfect place to have your next adventure. The resort offers kayak and paddleboard rentals to guests. Life vests are always included. There is a playground for kids to enjoy and hiking trails to explore. An in-ground pool is sure to make a splash with guests of all ages. And what better way to end the day than around a fire? A large fire pit is available for s'mores, fun, and memories. These amenities and more will be sure to entertain you and your family. The Cottages of Fairhaven is on the quiet side of the lake, near Cape Fear Marina and Flat Creek Restaurant. A short drive will take you to Silver Dollar City, Branson Landing, the show boat Branson Bell, abundant shopping, shows, museums, and some of the best golf in the Midwest. Reach out to your host today to book your next vacation.
Welcome back to the Scoreboard Guy Network. Certainly glad that you have tuned in. We're here for the next hour and a half or so. And as always, coming to you live from the Pizza Ranch studio here. The Pizza Ranch studio here located right at MissouriSportsNetwork.com. And we've got some tremendous games going on and some really crazy finishes. And first we'll go back to the Joplin-Carthage game. Joplin and Carthage tied at 28 with 2.5 seconds on the clock. Joplin decides to kick a field goal to win the game. Carthage blocks the field goal and then returns it for a touchdown to win 34-28. And according to some that were there, it appeared that perhaps Joplin didn't realize that they could return the blocked field goal. So we've had an incredible start here to the Scoreboard show. And again, we'll get into some of the scores here. Go to scoreboardguy.net, our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Week 8 high school football scoreboard presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Doak Propane, Great Southern Bank, Laborers Local 663, the Bank of Billings from the Pizza Ranch studio. Games from last night, it was Albany over King City, 46-12. North County defeats Potosi, 45-14. Norburn over Northwest, 34-8. And Scott City defeats Charleston, 49-14. Here on our 8-man football scoreboard, presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks, strong roots, endless possibilities. 8-man football scores from tonight. It was Drexel over Osceola, 52-7. North Andrew defeats Worth County, 56-48. And Tarkio over Stanberry, 44-20. Pizza Ranch brings you page 1. Pizza Ranch with 7 locations across the state of Missouri, about to be 8, 256 locations nationwide. Pizza Ranch is the host of the Springfield Area Quarterback Club. Meets every Monday from 11:30 to 1. You arrive at 11:30, you grab your food, have a seat in the room. Coaches begin speaking about 12, and then shortly thereafter, we are exit probably by 12:45. So get there before noon, get you some pizza and some of the best fried chicken. They're on their salad bar and pizza bar buffet. It was Adrian over Cole Camp, 36-0. St. Pius X defeats Bayless, 42-6. East Buchanan over Mid Buchanan, 48-12. We had Coach Aaron Fritz on earlier today to talk about that matchup. Mid Buchanan going in to this contest was 7-0. East Buchanan 6-1. East Buchanan's only loss was to a very good Savannah team who was 7-0 going into tonight, taking on Maryville. Other scores: Milan over Polo, 38-6. Monroe City defeats Macon, 32-8. South Callaway over Mark Twain, 46-8. Thayer defeats Willow Springs, 22-21. Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, more than 12 locations across southwest Missouri. Find new roads. Find a new Chevy at Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks. And our sponsor of our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athletes of the Week, you can go to our YouTube page at Missouri Sports Network on YouTube and see all of the Athletes of the Week, or you can go right to the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com and work your way down, and all the interviews with the Athletes of the Week are right there. Page 2, Blair Oaks defeats Hallsville 55-0. Was Father Tolton over TDW Prep in a forfeit, 13-0. Herman defeats Pacific 26-19. Was Lafayette County over Lexington 56-8. Mountain Grove defeats Houston 28-8. Was Borgia over Fredericktown 51-13. Warsaw defeats Skyline 27-6. Labor's Local 663, Building, Missouri. Page 3. Springfield Central defeats Buffalo 40-14. Central Park Hills over Dexter 42-13. Was Union over St. James 46-0. Silo Ridge Golf and Country Club in Bolivar, Missouri brings you page 4. Silo Ridge Golf and Country in Bolivar, Missouri. It's Bolivar over Hillcrest. Don't have a final yet there, but we'll get that to you as soon as we can. Cape Central defeats DeSoto 56-7. It was Nevada over Monette 48-7. Trinity out of Kentucky defeats St. Mary's 34-13. Page 5, brought to you by the Bank of Billings. The Bank of Billings, established in 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. Ozark over Branson 28-7. Kickapoo defeats Glendale 22-2, I believe was the final there. Holt over Jackson 34-21. Republic defeats Nixa 36-35. Rittenhour over Lafayette 47-34. Seckman defeats Oakville 35-14. Page 6, brought to you by Great Southern Bank. Great Southern Bank, with more than 100 locations in 6 states. They care as much about your money as you do. Great Southern Bank, member FDIC. CBC over Warren Central out of Indiana, 52-25. Rockhurst defeats Slough 17-14. Your Saturday games, as always, brought to you by Doak Propane. Doak Propane for all your propane needs. See the folks at Doak. It's still good barbecue weather out there, but it's about to get cold. So start thinking about heating your home, or maybe you just want to fry some fish. Doak Propane. Saturday schedule: East Kansas City is at Central Kansas City. Salisbury is at Confluence Prep. Bishop LeBlond is at Greenfield. Pattonville is at Hazelwood Central. Marquette is at Hazelwood West. Springfield Catholic is at Hollister. Hazelwood East is at Jennings. Vashon is at Lift for Life. We have an interview with Vashon head coach Will Franklin that we may play here during this episode. Rockwood Summit is at McClure North tomorrow. Also, Afton is at Normandy. Herculaneum is at Perryville. Principia is at Priory. John Burroughs is at Roosevelt. DeSmet is at Thornwood, Illinois. Clayton is at University City. Vianney is at Valley Catholic. Duchesne is at Westminster Christian. Now let's check some of the other score boards that we have at our disposal here. Camdenton, it has gone final. Camdenton defeats Lebanon 38-21. Seneca over McDonald County 28-21. Marionville defeats Ash Grove 28-22. Webb City over Neosho 42-21. Lincoln is at Midway, and that game has been postponed until tomorrow. Other finals, Mountain View Liberty over Salem 60-0. Adrian over Colcamp 36-0. Bolivar defeats Hillcrest 53-14. Carl Junction shuts out Willard 42-0. Kickapoo over Glendale 22-2. West Plains defeats Parkview 41-8. Rolla over Waynesville in the third quarter 7-6. In the fourth quarter, Mount Vernon leads Marshfield 44-6. Also in the fourth quarter, Reed Spring over Rogersville 21-14. Ava over Kabul. It has gone final 37-8. Willow Springs in the fourth quarter leads Thayer 15-14. Diamond with a 3-point lead on Sarcoxie in the fourth quarter, 27-24. Aurora defeats East Newton 12-7. Stratford in the fourth quarter with a 2-point lead on Lighthouse Christian 29-27. Jasper over College Heights also in the fourth quarter, 42-24. Butler in the fourth quarter leads Forsyth 62-36. Those are the scores that we have at this time. You can send them directly to Scoreboard Guy via Twitter, or you can chat with us as we will enable the chat here and display the chat box up here. And we've got several little notes just sounding great tonight, and I appreciate that. I don't know who that is, but you can go to Facebook Live. We are airing there as well as on the Missouri Sports Network YouTube page, and you click on Scoreboard Guy at Twitter. Certainly glad that you have tuned in, and as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow, and we will be right back.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective, and find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Welcome back to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com. Certainly glad that you have tuned in, and as always, presented by Labor's Local 663, Doak Propane, Central Bank of the Ozarks, our scoreboard sponsor. Our studio sponsor is Pizza Ranch of Springfield. And Pizza Ranch with 7 locations across the state. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes. Comments or questions, you can go on our chat page, go on via Facebook or Twitter. Send us a note, and maybe you are at a game and you know the finals. I don't know that a lot of the games have gone final yet, but we are definitely checking in on, and we'll run down. We've invited Coach Chad DePay from Ozark to talk about his victory tonight. We've also sent out messages to Springfield Central, and we will be checking in on some other scores. Just coming across on Twitter, New Madrid County out of Central defeats Sykeston 48-0. Liberal over Rich Hills 54-16. These are coming through on Twitter. Final Holt defeats Jackson 34-21. Warsaw now is 6-2, 2-1 in the conference as they handle Skyline 27-6, and they're on to Buffalo for next week in their regular season finale. Checking in on the rankings going into tonight's contest in Class 6, Liberty North at 7-0 remains number 1 in the state. CBC is number 2. They are 6-1. Lee Summit North checks in at number 3. They are 6-1. Nixa going into tonight at 7-0 checks in at number 4. Joplin at number 5. So you've got both number 4 and number 5 in Class 6 losing today. Both losing to Class 5 schools, Nixa to Republic and Joplin to Carthage. So Joplin will fall to 6-2. Number 6, 5-2 Troy coming into tonight. Marquette checks in at number 7. They are 6-1 going into tonight. DeSmet is number 8 in Class 6. They come into tonight at 3-4. Ray-Pec comes in at number 9. They are 5-2 on the season going into tonight. Rockhurst has won. They improve. Rockhurst was defeated, so they're 3-5 now on the season, and they will likely drop out. Also receiving votes, Columbia Rockbridge, who's 6-1, I believe 7-1 now. Blue Springs South 4-3. Sackman receiving votes. They were 6-1 coming in, and Staley at 5-2. Going into the Class 5 state rankings, Carthage comes in at number 1. They will likely, and I guarantee, hang on to that number 1 ranking as they defeat Joplin. So they improve to 7-1. Number 2 is 7-0 Francis Howe. Number 3, Lebanon, who will likely drop, and they'll drop at least one spot because number 4 is Camdenton, who moves to 8-0 after defeating Lebanon tonight. Lebanon will fall to 7-1. Holt checks in at number 5. Webb City at number 6. They improved to 4-3 with their victory tonight over Neosho. MICDS, number 7 at 6-1 going into tonight. Oak Park, number 8. Eureka, number 9. And Jeff City Helias comes in at number 10 this week. In Class 4, number 1 ranked team coming into tonight, 6-1, with St. Mary's. Number 2 is Kearney, coming into tonight, 7-0. Number 3, defending state champion Smithville, 6-1 going into tonight. Number 4 is Center. Number 5 is Union. Number 6, Hillsboro. Number 7, Hannibal. Number 8, Rockwood Summit. Number 9, Vashon. And they don't play till tomorrow, and they've got Lift for Life. And number 10, Nevada, coming in at 5-2. They get a big win over Monette, go to 6-2. So they will likely remain ranked. Dropping out from last week was West Plains, but they still received some votes, and they got a big win tonight over Parkview. Ranking the Class 3 teams, number 1 is Cardinal Ritter. Number 2 is Pleasant Hill. Number 3, Valley Catholic. All of the top 3 are undefeated on the season at 7-0. Number 4 is Lutheran North. Number 5 is Lutheran St. Charles. Number 6 is St. Pius X. Number 7, Savannah. Number 8, Maryville. Number 9, Kennett. And number 10, Park Hills Central. Class 2 state rankings coming into Week 8. Number 1, Blair Oaks. Number 2, Lafayette County. Number 3, Seneca. Number 4, Lamar. Number 5, Richmond. Number 6, Bowling Green. Number 7, Mountain View Liberty. Number 8, Macon. Number 9, Centralia. And number 10, Trenton. Your Class 1 state rankings going into Week 8. Number 1, Monroe City. Number 2, East Buchanan. Number 3, Mid Buchanan. Number 4, Marionville. number 5, Gallatin, number 6, Lincoln, number 7, Scott City, number 8, Adrian, number 9 is St. Vincent, and number 10 is Cole Camp. We will update the scoreboard and go through that once more. We have got confirmation from head coach Shem Johnson from Central following their win over Buffalo that he will be joining us at 10 after 10. It's 9:56. I know a lot of you are headed home. Hey, before you put your car in drive, check around everybody that's in your vehicle and make sure they have their seatbelts on. Just takes 3 seconds, and it could save your life. Be safe, be smart, be here tomorrow. We are checking Twitter. A final from Aurora over East Newton, 12-7. That was sent to us here, and we appreciate that. So send them right at Scoreboard Guy. Got scores from J.C. Reeves of the Southeast Missourian, kind enough to tweet at us. Scores from Southeast Missourian's coverage area. Scott City over Charleston, 49-14. That game was last night. Cape Central defeats DeSoto, 56-7. Chaffee over Doniphan, 51-6. Holt defeats Jackson, 34-21. St. Vincent over Grandview, 49-6. And Herculaneum at Perryville tomorrow at 1 p.m. Has gone final in Camdenton, as Camdenton does defeat 45-28. Stratford gets 2 late touchdowns against Lighthouse Christian to thwart their comeback attempt. It was 29-27, but the final is the 43-27 Stratford. Elsewhere, Maryville defeats Savannah 39-28 in conference action up there. So Maryville improves to 5-3. Savannah drops to 7-1. Has gone final as Reed Spring defeats Rogersville 28-14. And it has gone final from Butler over Forsyth 62-36. Carl Junction defeats Willard 42-0. And some tremendous games tonight. If you have an opportunity, your own YouTube page, you need to go and watch that game. What an exciting game there! And I don't know that Carthage has one, but a lot of folks are taking advantage. I think radio is probably where newspapers were 15 years ago. Most people are listening to podcasts and online, very similar to what the Missouri Sports Network is doing. But Camdenton, anyway, with a big win there. And that's got district implications as well. They're both in the same district, which now means that Camdenton will likely be the 1 seed in that district, depending on how next week goes. But if they hang on to that 1 seed, they will have home field advantage throughout the playoffs and maybe a bye as well. And before we get out of here, we'll talk a little bit about some of those districts. But right now, we will run through the scores that we have at this time. You go to scoreboardguy.net to get the scores. They will be uploading. I guarantee you they'll be uploading all night because it's a chore when you're chasing down 150, 200 football games to get everything caught up. But we'll go right now through the scores. And first on the Missouri Sports Network scoreboard, presented by Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks. Here's your Week 8 high school football scoreboard, presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Doak Propane, Great Southern Bank, Laborers Union 663, Bank of Billings from the Pizza Ranch studio. Games from last night. Albany defeats King City 46-12. It was North County over Potosi 45-14. Norborn defeats Northwest 34-8. Scott City over Charleston 49-14. Central Bank of the Ozarks, strong roots, endless possibilities, brings you 8-man football from tonight. It was Lockwood over Appleton City 52-16. Drexel defeats Osceola 52-7. Jasper over College Heights 48-24. North Andrew defeats Worth County 56-48. Norburn and Northwest, no final from that at this point. Have Rockport over South Holt 30-28. South Nottoway defeats Stewartsville 52-24. St. Paul Lutheran over Knox County 56-8. Tarkio defeats Stanberry 44-20. Archie over Sweet Springs 48-8. Pizza Ranch, 7 locations in Missouri, about to be 8. Brings you page 1. Adrian defeats Colcamp 36-0. St. Pius X 42, Bayless 6. Was Forsyth over Butler. Brookfield defeats Clark County 26-13. East Buchanan over Mid Buchanan 48-12. Holden over Carrollton 52-0. Midway at Lincoln postponed till tomorrow. It was Hayti over Malden 42-7. Milan defeats Polo 38-6. Monroe City over Macon 32-8. Sherwood defeats Russellville 58-41. South Callaway over Mark Twain 46-8. Thayer over Willow Springs 22-21. Blair Oaks, Class 2, number 1 ranked team in the state, 5-0 over Hallsville. Bowling Green 83, Wright City 7. And yes, you heard that correctly. Bowling Green 83, Wright City 7. Lamar over Cassville 41-13. Father Tolton wins in a forfeit over TDW Prep. Herman defeats Pacific 26-19. Lonnie over Lexington 56-8. Mountain Grove defeats Houston 28-8. Lincoln Prep over Southeast 56-0. Borgia over Fredericktown 51-13. Warsaw defeats Skyline 27-6. Labor's Local 663, Building, Missouri, brings you page 3. Springfield Central over Buffalo 40-14. Park Hills Central over Dexter 42-13. Harrisonville over Oak Grove 47-36. Reed Springs defeats Rogersville 28-14. Sullivan over Owensville 26-0. Union defeats St. James 46-0. Warrenton over Orchard Farm 35-25. St. Clair defeats Windsor 56-12. Cape Central over DeSoto 56-7. Festus over Farmington 41-20. Nevada defeats Monette 48-7. Excelsior Springs over Raytown South 34-27. MICDS over St. Dominic 35-0. Trinity out of Kentucky defeats St. Mary's 34-13. Page 5, brought to you by the Bank of Billings, established in 1889. The Bank of Billings is the oldest bank in Christian County with 2 locations, one in Billings and one in Marionville. Ozark over Branson 28-7. Carthage defeats Joplin 35-28. And a crazy finish there for those of you just tuning in. Game tied, 28-all. Joplin attempting a field goal for the win with 2.5 seconds remaining on the clock. The attempt is blocked. Carthage returns it for a touchdown, and seemingly, according to some of the fans, Joplin was not aware that they could return it for a touchdown. Now, I believe in high school you cannot return an extra point for points, but a field goal is a different story. Elsewhere, Fort Zumwalt North 35, Zumwalt South 0. Holt over Jackson 34-21. Republic defeats Nixa 36-35 in overtime. Seckman over Oakville 35-14. Timberland over Francis Howe North 61-21. Troy Buchanan defeats Fort Zumwalt West 45-10. Rolla defeats Waynesville 7-6. Page 6. Great Southern Bank. Great Southern Bank has more than 100 locations across 6 states. Great Southern Bank is also the arena sponsor at Missouri State University basketball games. Great Southern Bank, they care as much about your money as you do. Great Southern Bank, member FDIC. It was Blue Springs South over Blue Springs 44-21. CBC defeats Warren Central Indiana 52-25. Was Rockhurst over SLU 17-14. Page 7, brought to you by Doak Propane. Page 7 is where we have our Saturday schedule. East Kansas City will be at Central Kansas City. Salisbury at Confluence Prep. Bishop LeBlond at Greenfield. Pattonville is at Hazelwood Central. Marquette is at Hazelwood West. Springfield Catholic will be at Hollister tomorrow. Hazelwood East will be at Jennings. Vashon will be at Lift for Life. Rockwood Summit will be at McClure North. Afton will be at Normandy. Herculaneum at Perryville. Principia will be at Priory. John Burroughs is at Roosevelt. DeSmet will be in Thornwood, Illinois. Clayton will be at University City. Vianney will be at Valley Catholic. And Duchesne at Westminster Christian. Take a quick time out. We come back. Hopefully we'll hear from Shem Johnson from Central as they get a big 40-14 win over Buffalo. I have a little update here from Hillcrest. Hillcrest is presenting a Thrill on the Hill. You could go, it's Halloween. They've built a forest out behind their school, a ghost forest, and you'll hear about it and see it here in this video. I hope you enjoy.
Present to you Thrill on the Hill. It's hosted at Hillcrest High School on October 29th from 4 to 7 p.m. This event is for parents and young.
If you are a coach, athlete, or athletic director at any level and looking to master mental performance, but you're not quite sure.
I apologize for that. I was trying to answer the call here. We're working on head coach Shem Johnson. Coach, can you hear me? Hang on, Coach. I've got. Call me back, Coach. My apologies there, Coach Johnson from Central. Here we go. There you are, Coach Johnson. Can you hear me?
Well, I am not sure what the situation is here. Coach, can you hear me now? How about now, Coach? You got me?
I still got you, but you can't hear me apparently.
No, I got you, Coach. I got you
Oh,
loud
there you
and
go.
clear
Okay.
now.
Okay, there we go.
Well,
Now I could hear you fine.
well, I was, it's tough to run all these buttons at the same time, and sometimes you get one of them down, and then you're like, what did I do? He can't hear me. But Coach, thanks so much for joining the show. You get a huge win tonight over a good Buffalo team. Tell me a little bit about the game.
It was a fantastic game for both sides of the ball for us. We had a challenge we wanted to meet. We knew they had a high-powered offense, and we didn't want to get into a track meet with them. So it was just, let's come out, let's be strong on offense, and then, if we need to, we'll let our defense get the ball back for us. Played a fantastic job. They kept that crazy little full house offense they got stifled. So, it was a beautiful thing for us tonight.
Hey, tell us about, I know you had some kids that had to have big nights tonight. Tell us a little bit about some of your players.
Started out, with Tayshawn McShane. He got the ball and he wanted to run hard tonight. And we talked about that first quick step of his that he needed to make sure of, and that's what he got tonight. Didn't take us much to get on the old board. After that, our quarterback, Antonio Starks Fuel, he played pretty much a lights out, which for us is like, hey, don't turn the ball over. And from that standpoint, when you don't do that, you got a really good chance to win.
Did you come out of tonight's contest relatively healthy?
We did. Lucky for us, we played hard, and that's all that mattered. And the guys came out, and they just did things. So when you do that, you don't have to worry too much about injury on your side of the ball.
Coach, you guys, you're off to a tremendous start. I believe 5-2 now on the season. Talk about what the difference has been this year. You're getting, obviously, your kids are kind of buying into the system and buying into the success that you've had in the past, and that's just been tremendous.
At this point, we've just, as a coaching staff, we've been able to get the kids to buy into what we're selling, and that's the key. It's a team game, so we have to make sure everybody buys into playing together. And it took a little while for those guys to understand that, but as you gain success, which always didn't come in wins and losses all the time, but once you realize that, it just kind of starts to roll in the right direction. And as you see, we're in 2 right now, and we haven't done that since 2002 and haven't been there but twice now since 86. So couldn't be more happy with what's going on.
Tell us a little bit about next week. Week 9 is the final week of the regular season. What challenges are in front of you there?
We got Forsyth next week, so we get to go to their place, and they got the little triple option, so that's always fun to go up against. You never know where it's going, but luckily that's kind of the ball we've been playing against most of the season, so we get a little bit of an idea of what they're going to come in with. Again, it's a business trip for us, so it's about playing solid on both sides of the ball and making sure that we do what's right, what's needed.
Coach, as you look, you're going into this week 9 and district seeds right now are of the most importance. And right now you would get maybe to host a game there at Springfield Central. Is that something that you're really going to try and push into your kids' head this week to, hey, this is an important win for us. We can hang on to our seed and get a home game in the districts at Central.
Absolutely. It's every day, every week, it's pushing towards something that's a legacy for these young men. And having a home game would be, again, we understand it's still business right now, and chips fall. We just have to do what we need to do, and the rest is, will take care of itself. But we do think about it. We do talk about it a little bit, but we're not going to hang our hat on it.
And coming out of tonight, once again, you come out of tonight's game relatively healthy.
Yeah. So that's the key. We just came out. We played hard. Our kids, they knew what they're going to be up against, and we prepared all week. So with that preparation, those kids were ready for any kind of battle. So we all walked away healthy, and that's the biggest key.
Coach, again, congratulations. And right now with that 6-2 record, you're sitting in that 3rd spot in your district, there behind Lebanon and Camdenton. And of course, obviously, Lebanon lost tonight. So
We saw that.
an opportunity here, maybe move up into that 2 slot, but we'll see. And the numbers haven't been all adjudicated at this point with regards to the formula. But Coach, again, congratulations on a tremendous season thus far. Best of luck going into the next week, and I look forward to seeing you at the quarterback club and hearing about the game.
I appreciate that, guy. Thank you very much.
You bet. You bet. Head coach from Springfield Central, Shem Johnson, kind enough to join us here on the show. Still waiting to hear from Coach Chad DePay from Ozark as they get a win tonight as well. And Coach Shore promised me, interviewed him earlier today, promised me that he would call in, win or lose. And, of course, they got a huge win tonight. But as I tried to a minute ago, we'll play this a little bit about the thrill on the hill, and we'll go with this here out at Hillcrest.
Present to you Thrill on the Hill. It's hosted at Hillcrest High School on October 29th from 4 to 7 p.m. This event is for parents and young children to enjoy some safe Halloween activities. Come for some fun games, lots of candy, themed photo booths, and our favorite, the Haunted Forest. We welcome you with a big thumbs up to join us and enjoy this event. We can't wait to see you there.
That is the Thrill on the Hill. I apologize. Really kind of struggling with all the knobs here, so I'm not sure what I have to run through the scores. Again, it's going to wait our next caller. This will be a part of the show. It's a tremendous. I really didn't think, one, I didn't think Republic would be Nixon, at Nixon. Number two, I really didn't think that the Kane took the win, even though they were at home. But Lebanon has just been so dominant all year. But Coach Shore talked about the difference in the game was going to be that offensive and defensive line, and they did a tremendous job stopping the Lebanon tonight. So anyway, yep, they get that big win tonight over Lebanon. So running through the scores as we have them at this time. Go back to the top of the page. You're at scoreboardguy.net and MissouriSportsNetwork.com. MissouriSportsNetwork.com for everyone has a home field advantage. Run through scores. Here at scoreboardguy.net. Shareholders of the Ozarks Week 8 High School Football Scoreboard presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Cove Bank, Great Southern Bank, Laborers Union 663, Bank of Billings, coming to you live from the Pizza Ranch studio. Thursday night scores. It was Albany over King City, 46-12. North County defeats Potosi, 45-14. Thorburn over Northwest, 34-8. Scott City defeats Charleston, 49-14. And your Friday night games brought to you by Central Bank of the Ozarks. Strong roots and responsibilities. In 8-man football, Lockwood over Appleton City, 56-16. Drexel defeats Osceola, 52-7. Jasper over College Heights, 48-24. North Andrew defeats North County, 56-48. Rockport, excuse me, Rockport over South Oak, 30-28. South Nottoway defeats Stewartsville, 52-24. Pattinsburg over St. Joe Christian, 78-48. St. Paul Lutheran knocks off Knox County, 56-6. It's Tarkio over Stanberry, 44-20. Archie defeats Sweet Springs, 48-8. Pizza Ranch, our studio sponsor, brings you page 2. Pizza Ranch, hosting quarterback clubs now across the state. St. Joe, yesterday, for a quarterback club that had in attendance at South Harrison, Coach Chip Scholing from South Harrison was there with us. Coach Fritz from Mid Buchanan. Coach Keaton from St. Joe Benton. Coach Matt Webb from Maryville. Coach Anthony Hayes from Savannah. So pleased to see those guys. And Coach Hayes and Coach Webb have been part of the show, part of the Scoreboard Guy Network for a number of years. So it was good to meet coaches from other parts of the state they can't get talked to, but you had never sat down and broke bread with them. That was a nice time yesterday at Pizza Ranch in St. Joe. So page 1, Adrian over Colcamp, 36-0. Marionville over Ash Grove, 28-22. St. Pius X over Bayless, 42-6. Brookfield defeats Clark County, 46-13. East Buchanan over Mid Buchanan, 48-12. Holden over Carrollton, 52-0. Cottageville defeats Kelly, 42-0. Midway at Lincoln postponed until tomorrow. Atai defeats Malden, 42-7. Milan over Colo, 38-6. Monroe City defeats Macon, 32-8. South Harrison over Princeton, 28-19. Putnam County over Maysville, 48-24. Sherwood defeats Russellville, 58-41. South Callaway over Mark Twain, 46-8. Gallatin defeats Trenton, 48-6. Stayer over Willow Springs, 22-21. Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks with 12 locations throughout Southwest Missouri, sponsoring our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athletes of the Week. Find new roads. Drive a new Chevy. Page 2. Aurora over East Newton, 12-7. Blair Oaks defeats Hallsville, 55-50. Bowling Green over Wright City, 83-7. Lamar defeats Cassville, 41-13. Father Colton defeats TW Prep by forfeit, 13-0. Furman over Pacific, 26-19. St. Genevieve over Jefferson, 41-34. Lafayette County defeats Lexington, 56-8. Mountain Grove over Houston, 28-8. Lincoln Pep over Southeast, 56-0. Borgia defeats Fredericton, 51-13. Stockton over El Dorado Springs, 30-14. Warsaw defeats Skyline, 27-6. Labor's Local 663, Building, Missouri, brings you page 3. Springfield Central over Buffalo, 40-14. Odessa defeats Chillicothe, 36-35. Springfield Central over Dexter, 42-13. Harrisonville over Oak Grove, 47-36. Kennett defeats Poplar Bluff, 35-14. Overly over Mexico, 28-14. Big Spring over Logan Rogersville, 28-14. Sullivan defeats Owensville, 26-0. Union shuts out St. James, 46-0. Van Horn shuts out University Academy, 23-0. Warrenton over Orchard Farm, 35-25. St. Clair over Windsor, 56-12. Page 4. Saddle Ridge Golf and Country, located in Bolivar, Missouri, one of the nicest and most well-groomed golf courses in Southwest Missouri. With Bolivar over Hillcrest, Pearl Junction defeats Willard. Cape Central over DeSoto, 56-6. Chaminade over Gateway, 42-0. Festus defeats Farmington, 41-20. Hannibal over Marshall, 59-14. Nevada over Monette, 48-7. Excelsior Springs defeats Greytown South, 34-27. MICDS over St. Dominic, 35-0. Trinity out of Kentucky defeats St. Mary's 34-13. Washington over Northwood 56-15. Bank's 5, brought to you by the Bank of Village. Bank of Village established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. Camden defeats Lebanon. Carthage over Joplin 35-28. Fort Zumwalt North shuts out Fort Zumwalt South 35-0. Jefferson City Hess over Smith Cotton 45-21. Holt defeats Jackson 34-21. Lindbergh, the Flyers, with a 42-7 victory over Belleville. Webb City defeats Neosho 42-21. Republic in overtime defeats Nixa 36-35 as they go for two. They win the toss going into overtime, and they defer. Nixa scores on the first play. Lone Green from 25 yards out. They kick the extra point. They go up 35-28. Republic gets a key fourth down in that drive to score. They get the touchdown. They go for two after a couple of timeouts. They go for two and they get it as they run an RPO on a run pass option, and they find the man in the end zone for the touchdown pass. And Republic wins 36-35. Butcher grows over Northwest 27-13. Lafayette beats Rittenhouse 48-7. Sacramento improves to 7-1 as they defeat Oakville 35-14. Timberland over Francis Howell North 61-21. Troy Buchanan defeats Fort Zumwalt West 45-10. Great Southern Bank reported 100 locations in 6 states. Great Southern Bank member FDIC. Age 6. Blue Springs South over Blue Springs 44-21. CBC over Warren Central Indiana 52-25. Lee Summit North over Lee Summit West 21-0. Liberty North, great more peculiar, no final yet. Liberty North, number 1 team in Class 6. Great Tech is the number 9 team in Cleveland Class 6. Rockhurst defeats SLU 17-14. Staley over Fort Hill 48-33. Your Saturday schedule brought to you by Doak Propane. Doak Propane for all your propane needs. See the folks at Doak in Hollywood, Missouri, Polk County and surrounding counties. Saturday schedule is East Kansas City at Central Kansas City. Salisbury at Confluence Prep. Bishop LeBlond at Greenfield. Pattonville is at Hazelwood Central. Marquette is at Hazelwood West. Springfield Catholic at Hollister. Hazelwood East is at Jennings. Vashon is at Liquor Light. Rockwood Summit is at McClure North. Afton is at Normandy. Herculaneum is at Perryville. Principia is at Priory. John Burroughs at Roosevelt. And DeSmet is at Thornwood, Illinois. Elsewhere, Clayton will be at University City. Keontae travels to Valley Catholic. And DeShane will be at Westminster Christian. Those are the scores as we have at this time. Drop us a note. Run us a line through Facebook Live. You can chat with us right there on the chat board here on Restream at the Missouri Sports Network. You can respond at Scoreboard Guy. And we will check see if the updated districts have been updated at this time. As we look at the Class 5 District 5, where that's where you find Lebanon, Camden, Central, Springfield, Glendale, Rolla, and Waynesville. The only game updated at this point, not 2. It was top 3, I'm sorry. Camden now jumps to Lebanon. Camden is the number 1 seed. Lebanon, number 2 at 7-1. Central, number 3 at 6-2. Springfield Glendale at 5-2. They moved to 5-3 with their loss to Kickapoo. Rolla at 3-4, but they will move to 4-4 with their victory over Waynesville. And Waynesville 2-6, and Branson 1-7. 1-7. You look at some of the other districts. We jump into Class 6. Let's see if those have been updated at this time. And you look at District 1, Class 6 District 1 out of the St. Louis area, contains Christian Brothers College CBC for 1. That district, as it is refreshing, Nine Kingdom for better internet. I think it's created some of our problems here. And I don't know that it's my computers as much as the upload speed here. But CBC is the 1 seed right now. No game. One game has been updated in the district, and that is second. So they are 7-1. But right now, 1 seed is Christian Brothers. Marquette is the 2 seed, would host Cedar Hill. Seckman is the 3 seed, would host SLU. Kirkwood is the 4 seed, and they would host Lindbergh. That is Class 6, District 1. District 2 in Class 6, which has the like of St. Louis to Smet. In that district, that's Class 2, District 6, or Class 6, District 2, as it uploads here. And again, you can chat with us here, right? We've got a few notes already, but Rockbridge is the 1 seed right now. Troy Buchanan is the 2 seed at 6-2, followed by Pattonville. Rockbridge would host Hazelwood West. Troy Buchanan would host Hickman. Pattonville's a 3 seed, and right now would host Hazelwood Central. Rittenhour is the 4 seed, and they would host DeSmet. And again, that is Class 6, District 2. Class 6, District 3. And that's where you'll find the Springfield area schools that are Class 6, which include the likes of Ozark, Nixa, Kickapoo, and Joplin. Right now, Nixa, and Nixa score has been generated, but they still 0.3 ahead of Lee Summit North. So Nixa at this point would host Ozark, which would be back-to-back weeks. Roman Holmes. Nixa will go to Ozark next week, and if the season ended like it is set up right now, Ozark then would go to Nixa in Week 10. Lee Summit North is the 2 seed. They would host Lee Summit West. Kickapoo is the 3 seed. They get a win tonight. That game is not showing up here, so they will likely hang on to that 3 seed. And they will host. To that end, we've got Coach Jeff Shore coming in from Lebanon. Coach Shore, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks. Sorry, we just kind of got things wrapped up. I thought I'd give you a holler.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach, I was watching the game, and just a tremendous win, tremendous effort. You talked about it in the pregame with regards to the offensive and defensive line, and your defensive line especially really stepped up tonight.
They did. You know, you and I talked about it earlier, and I give those guys all the credit. You know, Coleman, Reservoir, Jordan, Lee, Hilton, guys really took it on their shoulders to be the guys to make sure and get stalemate at least the line of scrimmage. They did a great job. It really allowed our defense to play a really good ball game tonight, get the ball in our offensive hands.
The game in the first half kind of went as Lebanon games mostly do. You got 4 possessions, but you scored on all 4, with the last one being that field goal there right before half. What halftime adjustments did you make, or did you need to make any?
Yeah, we did. You know, we added a couple of more wrinkles on offense as we went, and as they started to move a couple of linebackers, off. So, we were able to hit probably a big play of the game for us. A big advantage because they came out second half and they got right on the board, I think an 80-yard touchdown right off the bat. And came back and answered with just a laser from very short to Cam Vernon on I don't know, maybe 50 yards or so, and just answered right back. So that was a big play, and they allowed us to put the extra linebacker box, obviously room to go deep, drop the guys. So that was a big play in the ball game. We made a few adjustments there, but their offensive line did a great job blocking, and really just really hung in there and played hard.
You're up 10 going in at half. You come out, as you mentioned, the second half. First play from scrimmage, touchdown Lebanon. Second play from scrimmage for you, touchdown. So
Yeah.
in 1 minute, each team had scored a touchdown. You get that 10-point cushion back.
Yeah.
And then you kind of tried to maybe use a little bit of the clock and maybe trying to keep them in bounds there. But then you come out and you kind of run away with it at the end.
Yeah, we left a couple on the board there in that third quarter. We had a couple of chances for defense to a good spot, and we couldn't quite capitalize. And it's in the fourth quarter. We got a couple of big runs, big plays, and we just played good. We're able to put a couple more on the board there. We just they're fantastic on offense, and it takes the right effort to stop. It's hard to stop. And once we got that 2-score lead, really in our favor because it took them a while they scored, but it took a while to really kind of get answer back. So really getting the lead, getting the board, huge. I feel right before halftime was huge. This Cam hit, Ern hit. So yeah, it just kind of went our way. We got a turnover tonight, which is good. It helped us for sure, and just played really hard and kind of went our way.
Yeah, you talk about that offensive line early in the game. You lose your center, that had to be trying there. With that relationship, and especially coming out of the pistol or the shotgun, I guess, would be more of it. How did he respond? And I thought he really played well in the second half.
Yeah. So, we always talk about our center being a most important player on offense. That offense does not work with that. And Jackson Scott's the guy. He battled an injury off the line all year long. Tough kid. So when he went out, Logan Lee came in, did a great job filling in for him. Logan started a couple of games for us. Jackson was out, and so he got some experience himself. So he's playing both ways. He's playing offense and defense, and it's a great job by him for coming in there and really wasn't expecting to play center tonight. Honestly, he's actually been felt pretty good the last couple of weeks. We kind of felt like he's good to go, but then here re-injured, Logan really had to step up. So that was a great catch on your part. I mean, that's a huge deal there to have that center, and Logan came in and did a great job and got it going, and really, we didn't miss the beat. So that's good.
And I've got to ask you because in the third quarter there, I believe you lined up. It was fourth down, and you kind of get a little bit of a miss snap. Were you planning on punting that, and Bear just made a read and threw a first down pass?
Well, I think that on that one we got that ball back.
Right, you did.
Yeah. Actually, Cam, he's a punter, and we planned on punting it, and it's a bad snap. We picked it up. We had to line it downfield, unfortunately. We actually in the first half had a play there we designed. We had him kind of rugby style punt. I said, hey, it was a 4th and 4, kind of midfield. I said, hey, if you want to get out of here, we're going to block you. If you feel like if you got it, if you can get it, go. If not, kick it. I was glad he went. He got first down. That's the story. So, Cam played a great game. Really played well, and him and Bear really comboed up in different spots, and so it was nice there. Along with those guys, Reese Waters did a nice game. Payson kick returns. A guy named Kyle Edson, Kyle's receiver, did a great job blocking tonight. So all the way around, it was pretty. Like I said, really happy with our effort. Great crowd, unbelievable crowd here tonight. It was one of the best high school atmospheres I've ever seen. So I was glad we could do them proud.
Well, Coach, and we talked earlier about this going back over the last 10 seasons. You were 5-5 coming into this. Points were minute as the difference. Rank this over those past 10. Where does this game fall? I mean, number one, the importance of it, both being undefeated. But how does this rank?
Yeah, it's up there for sure. I mean, there's a lot on the line in the conference championship. A district seed, a home game, home games. If we can keep winning the district, so there's definitely a lot on the line there. So it's for sure up there. But like I told them before the game, we really discussed, look, guys, whatever happens, win or lose, we got to do it for a few minutes to win it, and then we got to move on and go from there. You know what I mean? We got to move on and get ready for Glendale. Glendale's a dangerous team, and we want to, we got a lot of football left. So this is not the end of our season. Great win on a big night. But, we got to kind of put perspective to move on.
You bet. Well, Coach, as always, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time. Congratulations on a huge win, and we will talk to you soon, and best of luck as you go forward.
Hey, really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You bet. Thanks, Coach. Coach Jeff Shore, kind enough to join us there, and it's a tremendous game. And like I said, they were, they scored on every possession they had, but they only had 4 possessions in the first half. But they had a 10-point lead going in at half, 24 to 14, with that field goal there right before the half. The time expired, and then Lebanon comes out, scores on the first play, and Kansas scores on their second play from scrimmage. So a minute into it, 14 points have been scored, and then it was 4 consecutive punts. When you thought neither team was going to be able to hold the other, they end up going 3 and out 4 consecutive times there, and that kind of made the third quarter go by very quickly. But Kansas comes out on top as they run away with it late in that contest. Today we're going to step away breaks here. First off, going to hear a little bit from Brian Kane, who is going to be putting something on out at Allison Sports City. The audio on this comes from Allison Sports City, so we hope that you enjoy this and let us know what you think. You're listening to the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com.
If you are a coach, athlete, or athletic director at any level and looking to master mental performance, but you're not quite sure where to go next to get started, simply go to briankane.com and click on free courses. Or you can plan your reservation to see Brian Kane live at Allison Sportstown, the premier place to play, in March of 2023. Brian Kane is widely regarded as the foremost authority on mental performance mastery. He's the host of Mental Performance Daily and Coaching Matters podcasts. He has worked with Fortune 500 companies as well as coaches, athletes, and teams at not only the Olympic level, but also in the NFL, the NBA, NHL, UFC, PGA, and the MLB. MLB Cy Young Award winners, a Heisman Trophy winner, 6 UFC champions, World Series teams, Super Bowl champions, MVPs, Olympic medalists, Team USA Baseball, Team USA Bowling, and over 1,000 professional sports draft selections. In 2023, Aaron Wells at Allison Sportstown has invited Brian Kane to come and give us the secrets to mental performance mastery. We will learn to gain grit and fortitude in the mental game, because mental performance mastery training is 90% of the game that we do less than 10% of the time. If you are a coach, athlete, or athletic director at any level, you do not want to miss this opportunity. Be watching and listening for more information on registration for your next step to Mental Performance Mastery by Brian Kane. Hosted by Aaron Wells and Allison Sportstown.
Welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network. Guy Newcomb alongside here for the next few minutes here. Got a comment or question, you go to Facebook Live and you can shoot us a text message right there. It'll pop up right on our board here in front of me here in the studio, the Pizza Ranch studio. Pizza Ranch with 7 locations across the state of Missouri and about to be 8. Oh. Anyway, but certainly glad that you have tuned in to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us, take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. We'll just go through some of the scores here. We'll start off with kind of our state-ranked teams. Number 1, Carthage was at Joplin. With 3 seconds left in regulation, Joplin attempted a game-winning field goal, tied at 28. Carthage blocked the kick and ran it all the way down for a touchdown as time expired. So they win 34-28. Elsewhere was Camdenton over Lebanon 45-28. Bear Shore ran for 4 touchdowns to secure a Ozark Conference championship for the Camden Lakers. Seneca defeats McDonald County 28-21. Republic over Nixa 36-35. In overtime, after Nixa scored a touchdown on the first possession of overtime, Republic answers with a TD and converts on a 2-point conversion on an RPO in the back of the end zone for the touchdown, and they win 36-35. Lamar defeats Cassville 41-13. Marionville over Ash Grove 28-22. Ash Grove is not a bad football team. Marionville ranked number 4 in Class 1. Ash Grove gave them a fight tonight. Marionville wins 28-22. Webb City over Neosho 42-21. Lincoln and Midway, that game has been postponed to tomorrow. Adrian 36, Colcamp nothing. Nevada over Monette 48-7. Ozark defeats Branson 28-7. Carl Junction shuts out Willard 42-0. Bolivar over Hillcrest 53-14. Kickapoo 22, Glendale 2. And Kickapoo's defense really dominated that game. I mean, the Chiefs are 6-2 overall. Glendale was up 2-0 on a safety. And Kickapoo has allowed 8 or fewer points in 5 straight games. West Plains over Parkview 41-8. Rolla defeats Waynesville 21-20, and I said 7-6 earlier. My mistake. 21-20. Mount Vernon, a little bit of surprise, defeats Marshfield 44-14. Reed Spring over Rogersville 28-14. Springfield Central over Buffalo 40-14. Springfield Central now 6-2. They reached 6 wins on the season for the first time since 2002, and just the second time since 1986. Ava defeats Kabul 37-8. Thayer over Willow Springs 22-21. Diamond over Sarcoxy 27-24. Pierce City over Miller 34-8. Fairgrove over Clever 52-6. Warsaw over Skyline 27-6. Aurora over East Newton 12-7. Stratford defeats Lighthouse Christian 43-27 with 2 late touchdowns. Stockton over El Dorado Springs 30-14. Lockwood over Appleton City 52-16. Jasper defeats College Heights 48-24. Juan Rivera with 211 rushing yards for Jasper in that one with 6 touchdowns. Liberal over Rich Hill 54-16. Drexel over Osceola 52-7. And Butler defeats Forsyth 62-36. Going back to the scoreboardguy.net, where you can find all the scores and presented to you by Burgess and Associates. Burgess and Associates take care of your financial needs, whether it's your 401k, your retirement, long-term health. Give the folks at Burgess and Associates a call. Here on the Week 8 Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks High School Football Scoreboard, presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Doak Propane, Great Southern Bank, Laborers Local 663, the Bank of Billings, and from the Pizza Ranch studio. From Thursday night, Albany over King City 46-12. North County defeats Potosi 45-14. Norburn over Northwest 34-8. Scott City defeats Charleston 49-14. Friday night games brought to you by Central Bank of the Ozarks. Strong roots, endless possibilities. In 8-man football was Lockwood over Appleton City 52-16. Concordia over Keatsville 66-22. Mound City defeats DeKalb 68-40. Drexel over Osceola 52-7. Jasper defeats College Heights 48-24. Nottoway Holt over Southwest 50-12. North Andrew defeats Worth County 56-48. Norburn over Northwest 34-8. Oric over North Shelby 60-30. Liberal over Rich Hill 54-16. Rockport over South Holt 30-28. Bramer over Santa Fe, 76-54. Again, these are 8-man scores from tonight. Schuyler County over Northland Christian, 58-8. South Nottoway over Stewartsville, 52-24. Pattonsburg over St. Joe Christian, 78-48. St. Paul Lutheran over Knox County, 56-6. Tarkio over Stanberry, 44-20. Archie defeats Sweet Springs, 48-8. Adrian over Cole Camp, 36-0 on Pizza Ranch, page 1. Marionville over Ash Grove, 28-22. St. Pius X over Bayless, 42-6. Brentwood over Soldan, 34-6. Butler defeats Forsyth. Ava over Kabul, 37-8. Brookfield over Clark County, 26-13. East Buchanan over Mid Buchanan, 48-12. Harrisburg over Fayette, 30-24. Holden defeats Carrollton, 52-0. Portageville shuts out Kelly, 42-0. Tipton over Lone Jack, 72-6. Hayti over Malden, 42-7. Milan defeats Polo, 38-6. Monroe City over Macon, 32-8. South Harrison over Princeton, 28-19. Putnam County over Maysville, 48-24. Sherwood defeats Russellville, 58-41. Big win there for Coach Paul Carney. Scotland County over Paris, 26-7. South Callaway over Mark Twain, 46-8. Gallatin over Trenton, 48-6. North Platte over West Platte, 18-7. Marceline over West Strand, 13-12. Thayer defeats Willow Springs, 22-21. Page 2. Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks sponsors our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week. If you'd like to nominate someone as an Athlete of the Week, just send an email with pertinent information, stats, whatever else you may feel necessary to include to MissouriSportsNetwork@gmail.com. Aurora over East Newton, 12-7. Blair Oaks defeats Hallsville, 55-0. Bowling Green over Wright City, 83-7. California over Eldon, 61-21. Lamar over Cassville, 41-13. Winfield defeats Cuba, 34-12. Father Tolton gets a forfeit from TDW Prep, so it's 13-0. Herman defeats Pacific, 26-19. St. Genevieve over Jefferson, 41-13. Lafayette County defeats Lexington, 56-8. Mount Vernon, 44. Marshfield, 14. Seneca over McDonald County, 28-21. Mountain Grove over Houston, 28-20. Lincoln Prep shuts out Southeast, 56-0. Borgia over Fredericktown, 51-13. St. Michael over Hogan Prep, 47-20. Stockton over El Dorado Springs, 30-14. Stratford over Lighthouse Christian, 43-27. Warsaw defeats Skyline, 27-6. Page 3, Labor's Local 663, Building, Missouri. Springfield Central over Buffalo, 40-14. Odessa over Chillicothe, 36-35. Park Hill Central over Dexter, 42-13. Harrisonville over Oak Grove, 47-36. Kennett defeats Poplar Bluff, 35-14. Lutheran St. Charles, 20. Lutheran North, 18. It was Moberly over Mexico, 28-14. Highland Park, Kansas over Northeast Kansas City, 63-0. Osage defeats Southern Boone, 54-39. Center High School over Pleasant Hill, 53-27. Logan Rogersville falls to Reed Spring 28-14. Sullivan over Owensville 26-0. Union over St. James 46-0. Van Horn shuts out University Academy 23-0. Warrenton over Orchard Farm 35-25. St. Clair defeats Windsor 56-12. Page 4, Silo Ridge Golf and Country in Bolivar, Missouri, one of the best maintained, well-kept golfing facilities in Missouri. Bolivar defeats Hillcrest 53-14. Carl Junction shuts out Willard 42-0. Cape Central over DeSoto 56-7. Chaminade defeats Gateway 42-0. Festus over Farmington 41-20. Jefferson City over Battle 48-41. Hannibal defeats Marshall 59-14. Nevada over Monette 48-7. Parkway Central defeats Parkway West 32-16. Excelsior Springs over Raytown South 34-27. Here's an odd score, maybe the oddest score of the evening. Ruskin defeats Winnetonka 6-2. Elsewhere, it's MICDS 35, St. Dominic 0. Trinity, Kentucky over St. Mary's 34-13. Washington over North Point 56-15. Page 5. The Bank of Billings, established in 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County with locations in Billings and Marionville. It was Ozark over Branson 28-7. Camden defeats Lebanon 45-28. Carthage over Joplin 35-28. Fort Zumwalt North 35-0 over Fort Zumwalt South. Kickapoo 22-2 over Glendale. Elias over Smith Cotton 45-21. Holt defeats Jackson 34-21. Lindbergh over Melville 42-7. Webb City defeats Neosho 42-21. Republic in a stunner over Nixa 36-35. Webster Groves over Northwest 27-13. Lafayette defeats Rittenhour 48-7. With Seckman over Oakville 35-14. Timberland defeats Francis Howell North 60-21. Buchanan over Fort Zumwalt West 45-10. Grain Valley over William Chrisman 40-0. Page 6. Great Southern Bank, more than 100 locations in 6 states. Great Southern Bank, member FDIC. Blue Springs South over Blue Springs 44-21. CBC over Warren Central Indiana 52-25. Lee Summit North over Lee Summit West 21-0. Rockhurst over Slough 17-14. Staley defeats Park Hill 48-33. Those are your scores as we have them at this time. We'll be updating them throughout the night at scoreboardguy.net, on Twitter at scoreboardguy, and Missouri_sports. Certainly glad that you have tuned in tonight. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Good night.